Hello, Jodie here. Bandaged up hands, never mind that. Anyway, so this is a video about vlogging. So I've seen a few things on Twitter recently about people saying, oh, my whole class want to be vloggers, and kind of saying it in quite a derogatory kind of way, as if like, oh, for goodness sake, you know, this vapid society and it's all vanity and everything else. And you know, as somebody who's vlogging, I'll tell you that first of all, it's not easy to be somebody with big numbers. You can look at my video views and see that I'm not one of the best bloggers. I'm by a long shot. But sometimes it is the best way to communicate something, and if it's the new version of kind of writing things down, and also it's enabled people to vlog things that previously you can't really write about. I mean, how do you explain a really complicated way of doing some makeup via an essay? It's pretty much impossible. So vlogging is actually kind of giving opportunities to learn something that can't be written about in a very easy way. So most of the really good vlogs, and the ones that are followed a lot, are things that you can't just write about, that aren't doing something that you can kind of explain with a step-by-step without anything illustrating it or anything like that. And the other side of it is actually, it's also, you can find loads and loads of people who are vlogging poetry, so doing performance poetry and really kind of bringing alive poetry in ways that previously weren't kind of as easy to do if you weren't super famous and things like that. So it is giving a voice to people, and it is also a viable business. It's a viable income for those who are doing it really well, and the key here is those who are doing it really well. So this video is about ways to bring that into the classroom and actually use it to benefit, and to use it as something not every day. I'm not saying replace all your writing with it, but there are really valid points. If you want to, you know, if you've got a class who want to be vloggers, I'm sure you're not being derogatory in front of them about it anyway, but even if kind of outside of that you're thinking, oh, for goodness sake, they all want to be vloggers because they see these famous people who are not really talking about much. But actually, if you pull apart some of those makeup videos, for example, and look at the people who get loads of views and the people who've got audiences around the world and how they actually very cleverly market. So there's a whole business studies stream there, like how are they getting the best views? And part of it is around how they're doing their business model. Are they tweeting constantly? It's a full-time job, you know, to market yourself and to get the word out there all the time. You know, they're not doing what I'm doing, just standing on the nursery run for 5 minutes. They're scripting, they're editing, the content is the other stream to look at, and how they're actually making sure they're not just waffling, and they're really precise and they're really clever in the way they edit things. And you can see vloggers who have got successful, you can go back to the early videos and see the change as they've learnt and they've taken constructive feedback by looking through the comments for the ones that are actually giving them something to work on, and they've looked at other people's. They've also got their own craft, so those people who are doing the makeup, they're getting better and better at makeup as well, and that can then turn into other careers. So you've got people who are vlogging recipes who have now got book deals to write cookery books. You've got people who, like Maddie Moat is an amazing example of a vlogger who's now a TV presenter. She's got a CBeebies show all about how things work and how they're made, and she's a real advocate for STEM, and she takes any opportunity to teach anything wherever she is. Her and her mum keep bees, and so there's a whole series of vlogs on keeping bees and how to put a hive together and how to harvest the honey. So they're fascinating, you know. It's not just vapid nonsense, it's not just vanity. These are people sharing real skills and doing it in a very good way, doing it really well as a business model, and also how are they doing it really well in terms of their content, how are they scripting that. So it's something to really pick apart. And if you ask students to write about doing makeup or whatever it is, or even write about keeping bees, how much reading would you have to do to get all the information versus how much could you tell in a 5-minute vlog of just showing it, explaining it in really succinct ways? And so scripting is really important. The best always script. You can look at some, you know, of the scrappier examples, but also just look at people who have progressed from being early vloggers right through to now being very prolific bloggers who are doing really well, who have got a real following of millions. Some people have millions. Now, I'm saying all this in a do as I say, not as I do way, because here I am with no script and no editing and just standing in front of a wall because I'm waiting for my child to finish nursery. But this is another example. I'm getting a message out that if I had to sit and write it, I just don't have the time, I don't have the ability. The children be grabbing the iPad off me and everything. So I'm doing things in a different way, and sometimes that's what creativity is about. That's what it takes sometimes to be creative. And remember that for some children, looking at a vlogger might be the person they know online or whatever, who's got something they reasonably think they might be able to do that makes better money than a lot of people that they know. So encourage that, give them the way to earn the means to at least explore that a bit. And also, if they never do anything with the actual vlogging, at least they've learned something in presentation skills and everything else. So it's just a modern take on something that we've always done, which is teaching children to present confidently, succinctly, explain things and all the rest of it. So yeah, so this is just a response to some tweets I saw kind of talking about vlogging in a derogatory fashion. So this is my response to that, really. So I hope it's useful. Take care. Bye.